Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. We start on the daily time frame, and here we can still see, and I want to just share it with everybody so that we're on the same page. My best count that I can offer is this one, in which the standard support zone for the wave 4 is between 61,800. Just need to make sure that I've set it correctly. Yeah, but I think it is all good. 61,800 plus, plus minus. It's not that the price needs to get there, right? But we'll talk about that in a minute. Between 61,800 and 50,700, pretty much. There will be some smaller differences depending on the exchange. So it's not like, okay, we go $50 below the box and it's invalidated. That's not the case. It's more what we need to see is a sustained break below the support area to make me favor a different scenario. And I continue to actively looking for alternative wave counts and scenarios. But for now, there is no need to really focus on something more bearish, because we're not even in the support region. We are not even close to the lowest point or the lower boundary line of that support region. So we continue to focus overall on higher prices, but in the very short term, as long as we have clear evidence that the correction is over, we focus on lower. So it's the larger trend is still up. It is just that this entire move in wave 3 that started on the 15th of November, this is getting corrected. And I'm tracking primarily an ABC structure. Oh, it might be something else. It might turn into maybe a triangle pattern. It might turn into a WXY, It might even be that the wave 4 is over, even though I find that hard to believe, but Bitcoin's corrections sometimes are extremely shallow. So what I'd like to see is something similar to this, where the price dipped nicely into our support area on the daily time frame. I hope to achieve something similar because everybody had a great entry here who wanted to use that box to look for entries. And looking for this now, I assume that the A wave might be done. Okay, I wanted to get it a little bit lower maybe, but okay, maybe the B wave starts from here. So we're going to take a look at that on the smaller time frame, and then we could get this C wave down. As soon as we have a B wave top in place, I can give you a target for the C wave. And as I said, standard support area around about 50,750 to 61,800 with an ideal, normally an ideal target for a fourth wave, the 38.2 fib level at 55,420. That's the standard, you could say the standard ideal target. Sometimes they do overshoot, they don't even get there, and it's only, from a standard probabilities point of view, the most likely level to be tested. Obviously, along the way, we can make adjustments. So prices are dynamic, structures are dynamic, especially corrections tend to change in nature, in structure. So I would not want to say, okay, this is definitely how it's going to unfold. Especially in corrections, it's important to be flexible. But once the wave 4 is complete, I see this as an opportunity currently, I'd like to see a fifth wave to the upside, and I can give you a rough target for it. It's a bit too early for that because I haven't got a top in place for wave 4, but let's just make an assumption and let's say, okay, let's assume the wave 4 really comes down to 55K. Even that seems far-fetched at the moment, but if it does, then the standard target range here for the fifth wave is actually between 74K and 88K. But because the 74K is just the previous high, we're probably looking at 88K. It's a 61.8 extension. At least it is one of the ballpark figures I can give you right now. But then the thing is, this will change because the fourth wave hasn't even bottomed, so that will probably change. So let's go to the shorter time frame. So it's still a bullish market. We're just in a correction, in an overall bullish market. That's at the moment my main thesis. However, I continue to look for lower prices in the short term until I see evidence that the correction is over. What kind of evidence do I need to see? I need to see a 5-wave pattern to the upside. 5 waves up, 3 waves down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I need to see. Sometimes these 5 waves are not clear. That's just reality of the markets. And 3 waves down. I need to see this. What we're currently dealing with is possibly that this initial A wave of the wave 4 is complete. The A wave is the first leg of the correction of this wave 4. and the B wave might have started. Now, the B wave cannot be a 5-wave move, and that's how we can distinguish this. So the B wave would be an A, B, C structure in itself, and it's possible that now the A wave of the larger B wave has started. That's the best scenario I can give you right now. Now, if 5 waves form, yeah, that would be our first indication, basically 5 waves up and then 3 waves down. It might be difficult to identify. But at the moment, what we're dealing with here is a somewhat local low at least. So I'm interested to see if this A wave completes somewhere. A wave could, sometimes reaches just a 38.2 fib level. So the A wave might react to 67.9K. So that's the first level of resistance I've got. Yeah. And then we could see a B wave pullback. So the A wave might react there, the A wave might go higher. It's not like, just levels to watch. 69K is another possible target for the A wave. If we then get a B wave pullback, corrective, then we could get a C wave up. Maybe that will happen today. That's what I'm watching for today. Obviously, a direct move below yesterday's low, or it's actually today's low, at 64.5K would indicate that we're going down more directly and that this A wave is extending still. But I'd like to see a clearer B wave, and then possibly from there, once this B wave is complete, we can calculate a target for the C wave to the downside, yeah, and the support area I already mentioned. And further levels to watch generally for, overall standard resistance, yeah. The standard resistance area for a B wave in general is between the 50% fib level and the 78.6 fib level. I want to highlight it just as an additional standard resistance area here, standard. It's just standard resistance, yeah. So resistance. So this is between, between the 50% fib level and the 78.6 fib level, standard resistance. So that's quite relevant, because in this box here, yeah, we expect with a higher probability the B wave to finish. But then B waves can overshoot, right? They can easily overshoot. That's what they like to do. So it's really, I always mention that, not that people think, okay, we are more bullish if we go beyond that. And I'm showing additional fib levels because we know from experience that B waves like to overshoot. They just like to do that. For example, we then have 72.7K, 74K as additional levels, yeah. And sometimes we even see the B waves overshoot to the 1.38 extension. I just need to mention that it's nothing you can predict. You can just plan for it. I'm just going to add an additional level there actually. So just between, there's one more here, which is 76K. Now, I'm not telling you this will happen. I just say, okay, be mentally prepared for an overshooting B wave. I think that's all we can do at the moment. Once we form a higher low, the trend is up locally, very locally. But I'm going to track only for one more high in wave C. Now, if another higher low and higher high forms, that would be our first indication. An overall low is already in, something more bullish is going on. But for now, this is sort of what I go with for today. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.